Self-abusive behavior is not a pretty sight. As a psychologist, much of my work involves developing behaviorally based treatment and research programs to deal with such aberrant behaviors. In this film, you will see the use of one of these programs to treat Harry, the young man you just saw self-abusing. Harry is a 6'6" self-abusive man who resided in the Northern Virginia Training Center in Fairfax, Virginia. Although Harry was only mildly retarded, he had been institutionalized for most of his 24 years because of his extreme self-abuse. Harry's self-abuse had begun when he was an infant. In fact, his mother recalls placing cardboard mailing tubes over his arms to prevent him from striking his face with his fists. As he grew older and stronger, his parents reluctantly institutionalized him so that he could receive treatment for his self-abuse. Harry's primary form of self-abuse was to smash his face, particularly his nose, with his fist or his knee. Over the years, these repeated blows had left his nose permanently disfigured. He also abused himself by biting, hitting his head and thighs with his fists, and picking at his skin until it bled. Unfortunately, none of the several institutions that had treated Harry were very successful in their attempts to eliminate his self-abuse. The only way they had found to manage Harry's self-abuse was to restrain his arms and sometimes to place a mask over his face.
You want your nose restrained? Yes. Do you? All right. Yes.
Over the years, Harry had worn a variety of restraints, including a straitjacket. Harry was wearing the arm restraints when the Northern Virginia Training Center asked me to develop a program to eliminate his self-abuse and the arm restraints. Everyone agreed that the restraints had to be eliminated because they reduced circulation in Harry's arms, called attention to him during trips into the community because of their bizarre appearance, and most importantly, because they appeared to be reinforcing for Harry.
That's right. You want to finish chewing before you take a drink. That's very nice manners. Very nice. Nice sip. Can I have the milk, please? Let go of the milk.
He was very calm when he wore the restraints and would become highly agitated when they were removed.
Harry's now eating without any restraints on. Pick up your fork, Harry. Pick up your fork, Harry. Pick up your fork.
It would be difficult for us to eliminate Harry's self-abuse and the restraints. There were several reasons why. First, Harry had a long history of using his self-abuse to control others so that they would place no demands on him. For example, he would begin self-abusing when he was asked to participate in an educational activity. Second, over the years, the restraints had acquired very powerful reinforcing qualities for Harry, such that he insisted on wearing them continuously. Finally, at 6'6", he used his size to intimidate people so that they were reluctant to treat his self-abuse, take away his restraints, or require him to participate in activities. Most of the time, Harry sat in the TV room wearing his restraints and gazing into space. If he was asked a question, he would look downward and mumble something. If he was pressed, he would begin self-abusing. In essence, Harry had become extremely non-compliant over the course of his institutionalization. As a result, Harry's non-compliance was an even greater problem than his self-abuse and his reliance on the restraints, since they were only the means by which he displayed his non-compliance and thereby controlled others. Even when Harry wore hinged restraints that allowed him to move his arms freely, he would not self-abuse unless he wished to escape an activity or a social interaction. Consequently, Harry was left alone except for 1/2 hour each day when he was required to shower and exercise his arms. Clearly, Harry was making no progress, educationally or socially, and in fact, he was slipping backwards. Our goal was to eliminate Harry's self-abuse and the restraints so that it would be possible to teach him the skills that might permit him to be placed in the community, such as in a group home. Perhaps the biggest obstacle was the reinforcing power of the restraints. With that in mind, we designed a program in which the restraints would be used to reinforce the absence of self-abuse. In other words, the restraints would be taken away from Harry, and he would have to earn them back by not self-abusing while he was out of those restraints. Now, this procedure had been used with success by Judy Fable at the Western Carolina Center. However, in addition to using the restraints as reinforcers, we also needed a negative consequence if Harry did self-abuse. We designed our treatment plan with 3 levels of negative consequences according to the least restrictive model of treatment. Our level 1 treatment program used a timeout procedure from restraints if Harry self-abused. If the timeout was unsuccessful, we would go to level 2, in which we would physically restrain Harry's entire body as a negative consequence. If that failed, our level 3 plan would consist of brief contingent electric shock delivered to Harry's arms for self-abusing. Because our treatment program contained these aversive consequences, and because Harry would be allowed to self-abuse during the program, we submitted a written proposal to the institution's Human Rights and Restrictive Procedures Committee, to its superintendent, and to Harry's parents. At the committee's meeting, which Harry's mother attended, we showed a videotape of his self-abuse and his non-compliant behavior. After receiving everyone's approval, we submitted our program to the State Department of Mental Retardation. Having obtained their approval, we were ready to begin the treatment. We began by conducting 6 5-minute baseline sessions with Harry out of restraints. The sessions were kept brief because there were no consequences for self-abuse. In the baseline, we measured Harry's level of self-abuse across a variety of conditions.
Very good, Harry. Write it down. Very good, Harry. Write it down. That was very good, Harry. Write it down. Very good, Harry. Sit down, Harry. Sit down in the chair.
You're looking at Harry in a small treatment room through a one-way vision mirror. This room was selected because it gave us better control over Harry's behavior, reduced the possibility that someone might be injured, and permitted us to videotape the sessions in order to accurately measure Harry's self-abuse and to determine inter-observer reliability. Most importantly, the mirror permitted anyone to drop by and observe the program. Harry's extremely agitated behavior, brought about by the absence of restraints, makes it impossible to work with him on an academic task. Harry is not aggressing towards us. Rather, he is attempting to restrain his hands and arms in our clothing. We are trying to pry his hands loose as gently as possible and keep pushing him away from us so that he will be unable to restrain in our clothing. Harry was left alone so that we could determine how much he would self-abuse when we began using the timeout procedure during the treatment program.
5 minutes in, I just want to run another one. All right, we'll just keep going. We'll take like 10 seconds out, we'll change sheets, and we'll both ready, we'll start again. Everybody got that? 15.
The voices in the background are from the observation room, where recorders are measuring Harry's self-abuse during 5-second intervals of time. Harry continues to self-abuse despite the fact that he is eating a meal. Thus, a powerful reinforcer such as food is not sufficient to distract him from hitting himself. Note that Harry is self-restraining with his left arm by wrapping it in his shirt. This was the first time he self-restrained. Unfortunately, we would see a lot more of this self-restraint in the future. The brief baseline revealed that Harry had a high, stable rate of self-abuse across a variety of conditions. It also revealed that Harry's self-abuse, although quite severe, was not so dangerous so as to prevent us from proceeding with our treatment program. The design of our research and treatment program was to conduct this very brief baseline, then to implement the level 1 treatment, to return to baseline, and finally the permanent implementation of the level 1 treatment program. The initial baseline would allow us to measure the effectiveness of the treatment by comparing Harry's self-abuse during the baseline to his self-abuse during the treatment. And the return to baseline would establish scientifically that the treatment was causing the hoped-for decrease in Harry's self-abuse. The final return to treatment, of course, was where we wished to end up. The treatment began immediately following the final baseline session. Briefly, the program was as follows. We would select an activity that Harry could perform. Harry would be told as we removed his restraints that he could earn back his restraints following the activity. He was also told that if he hit himself at any time or refused to surrender the restraints, that we would leave the room with his restraints for 5 minutes. Our plan was to systematically increase the length of time that Harry spent out of restraints without self-abusing.
You understand? Now, as soon as we take the restraints off, I want you to start counting to 100. If you want us to walk out of the room with if you want us to walk out of the room with your restraints, do you want us to take them away?
No.
Then you be quiet while we hold them. We'll keep them in the room and you can look at them. You can look at them. Let go. Let me have it. I'm going to take them out of here. You don't let me have it right now. Here, I'm not screw around with this. Now, when you're ready to calm down, I'll come in here and let you earn your restraints. No. Are you ready?
Yes.
To earn your restraints?
Yeah.
Look at me. Are you ready to earn your restraints?
Yeah.
Look at me. Say, I'm ready to earn my restraints.
I am on my screen.
No, I am ready.
Ready?
Look at me. I am ready
Ready?
to earn my restraints.
On my screen.
I'm not going to talk to you if you don't look at me. Now say it again. Say it right.
I want to have my screen.
I want to earn
my restraint.
All right. Take your hands out of your pants and start counting to 100, and we'll give you the restraints back when you're finished counting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Slow down.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 50.
40, Gary.
41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47.
Counting to 100 was selected because we knew Harry could do it. He was not allowed to self-restrain by placing his arms in his pants. I required him to give me eye contact, be polite, and speak appropriately as a means of breaking down his non-compliant behavior and gaining instructional control over it. Furthermore, these behaviors are all socially appropriate ways of interacting with another person.
80, 182, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100.
Take the restraint from him, and what do you say?
What do you say, Harry?
Thank you.
That's right.
You're welcome, Harry.
80, 92.
What do you say?
Going to you.
What do you say? When you
Thank you.
That's right.
You're welcome, Harry.
You're welcome. You're doing fine, but I want you to sit up when you count this next 100, then I'm going to give you your restraints back. Now sit up.
1, 0.
Sit up. And
1, 0.
start counting. Sit up straight. Start counting. 1,
2, 3.
Harry continues to test us by rolling over and clenching his hands together while he is counting.
Slowly.
Slowly.
Sit up.
To counter this move, I required him to sit up and count. Requiring Harry to count slowly gained us more time with him out of restraints and was a further establishment of our instructional control.
65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80.
Slow down.
We were gratified because Harry was remaining out of restraints without hitting himself. And his counting to earn the restraints indicated that they were indeed reinforcing, which meant we were on the right track.
Slow.
96, 97, 98, 99, 100.
All right, now what do you get?
Bass strings.
How do you say it?
My bass got some bass strings.
Please.
Please.
Yes, you may.
Going to take you.
No, Harry. Here, if you hit yourself with these restraints, you're going to take them away. You understand?
Yes.
Okay.
I help you.
What do you say?
I'm not going to help you, Harry. You have to put them on yourself.
Start counting.
1, 2, 3.
Sit up straight.
You got to sit up, Harry.
5, 6, 7, 8,
Get your hands out
9,
of your pants.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23.
Okay, stand up. Let's play some ball. Would you like to play some ball instead of count?
Yes.
All right. Now we're going to play some ball instead of count, but we're not.
No! 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 No!
Harry's agitated and aggressive behavior during the 5-minute timeout period indicated that the timeout was aversive to him.
After we play some ball, get back. After we play some ball. After we play some ball, then you can have your restraints.
Yes.
You like that?
Yes.
Then go stay on the corner till I'm ready.
The counting was replaced by the ball throwing activity because Harry was spending increasing amounts of time out of restraints, which was our goal. As a result, we needed to employ more complex activities in order to keep him appropriately occupied. Also, catching the ball gave him something appropriate to do with his hands.
Who are you going to throw the ball to? That's right. Now you catch it. I want you to catch it. Let go of your hands. If you don't catch it, I'm leaving.
No.
Good.
Catch, Harry.
Good.
Throw, Harry.
Catch again. Here you go.
Good catch, Harry. Good catch. Nice throw.
Okay. You ready? Catch it.
Good catch, Harry. Good throw,
All
Harry.
right. Here we go. You ready?
Good catch, Harry.
Okay. Ready? Good throw, Harry. Sit down and we'll bring over the restraint. What do you say?
They have them 2 strings.
Just not have restraints, please.
They have them 3 string page.
Yes, you may. Here you go. What do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
2000.
What?
My big is the other one.
You have to say the right words. What is it? Please, may I have my restraints?
My big have my string.
Yes, you may.
Yes, you may.
What do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good, Harry.
Very good, Harry. You did nice on the
Very
ball.
good.
Did a good job on the ball. Take them off and hand them to me, please. Just take them off. Take the restraints off. Right now, Harry, or we're leaving the room with the restraints.
No.
And take them off and hand them to me. Quick. Come on. Quick. Get that restraint off. Hurry up. If I have to take it off, I'm leaving the room.
No.
Then you better go.
No.
Hand it to me, please.
Brian.
Hand it to me. Thank you.
Brian.
Take. Hand it out of that pocket. Let's go. Get that one off. Hurry up. If I take it off, I'm leaving.
No.
Get it off. Hurry up. Take it off.
Brian. Phil.
Now we're leaving. leaving because you...
No! No!
Who you throw the ball to, Harry?
Yeah.
You have to be quiet.
Yeah, boy.
First of all, I want you to give me that hug. Give me a hug first.
Asking him to hug me showed him I liked him and that I was not afraid of him, since I placed myself in a vulnerable position by keeping my hands behind my back during the hug. Harry frequently attempted to intimidate people by placing his face near theirs and staring. We decided to treat this non-compliance by not allowing Harry to stare.
Do you understand me?
Yes.
All right. Are you going to walk over there quietly?
Yes.
Not face like that, or I don't give you the ball. Now you back off. Right. Now quietly take the ball over, then we'll go get the chair and the table, and then you can have your restraints.
Over
there. That's right. Very good. That's right. Harry? No, I don't want to bring any of that in. That's all right. If you don't step away, I'm not going to talk to you. As soon as you put the chair under the table, then you can have your restraints.
Another one.
You didn't say the magic words.
My face, that's another cup.
Yes, you may. What do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hand me that restraint. Hand it to me. Hand it to me. Hand me that restraint. Get your hands out of your pants. Turn it off. You can go out with me and we'll get the restraints. You want to go out? Scoot your chair a little ways away. No, this way.
Hold my hands.
If you ask me to hold your hands, I'm leaving. Now, if you want to earn those restraints, if you want to get your cuffs back, and you want to go to the TV room, and you're going to do what I say, do you understand?
Yes.
And that says, do not ask me to hold your hands. That says, you're going to do the work that I want you to do. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, let's pick a book. Would you like a sip of Coke before we get started?
Yeah.
Would you like a little drink? Okay. What do you say?
Please.
We had now gone 7 hours since the beginning of the baseline that morning. Harry was growing tired and had received the consequences often enough so that he was beginning to behave quite appropriately. Accordingly, we tried to make the session task more interesting and to reinforce his appropriate behavior with Cokes and pretzels. We have been flying by the seat of our pants during each session since we decided what to do with Harry on a moment-to-moment basis. In effect, we took what Harry would give us.
Pour yourself a little. I want you to pour some into there. That's just a little. That's enough. Fine. I can't talk to you if you're staring at me. You have to move away. Now, we will work a couple of... We will work a couple of pages, and then we'll have some Coke and pretzels.
Yes.
All right, is that okay?
Help me.
I'll help you.
Hold my hand.
I'll help you with your work. I don't hold people's hands. I only hold hands with my girlfriends. All right, you ready? Do you know what this is?
Pizza.
I want you to point to them and say what they are. I want you to go pigs. Look at me. I want you to go pigs, cats, ducks.
Ducks.
All right, let me see you do it.
Pig, cat, ducks.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. Let's have another little sip of cap. Would you like to pour your own?
Big one.
You want a big one?
Yes.
Do you think you've earned a big one?
Yes.
You sincerely believe that?
Yes.
All right. Well, you can pour yourself a little more then. I think I might have a little Coke. Can I have a little Coke too? Is it all right if I have a little Coke?
Yeah.
Would you pour it for me though? Would you pour me just a little Coke? And then we'll work a page. And then we're going to leave.
Yeah.
And we'll work one more page. That's good. Hey, that's plenty. That's plenty. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's great. Here's to you. Here's looking at you, kid. Cheers. After we touch cups, you're supposed to take a drink too. Watch, like this, okay? Now take a drink.
No.
And then we're going to get the cups, and then we're going to go to the TV room. All right? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, right? Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's work this page. Are you going to give me a hug before we leave?
Yeah.
You feel like giving me a hug?
Yes.
Okay. Am I your friend?
Yeah.
Well, I am your friend, you know that. But I'm not your friend when you're doing this. Do you like me to do this to you? I mean,
No.
how does that feel? Well, then why do you do that to me? It doesn't feel nice to do this, does it? It's silly. It's crazy. It's what crazy people do. You're not crazy. So keep your face away from me. Because otherwise I'm going to do it to you all the time. You do it to me. Which would be kind of silly. Can I, well, let's toast the day. It's been a good day, huh? Bottoms up.
Was too long.
It was too long? It was a long day. I agree. I agree completely. It was a hell of a long day, wasn't it? You bet.
No.
It was a real bitch.
Praise God.
Real bitch of the day.
Yeah,
You
you
doing
doing? Well, I already did that test.
Sure. Let's go get them. You ready? Go get them. They're all yours.
Tell me.
No, you can put them on. Can you put the cup down here, though? You've got the cup in your hand.
Tell me.
You have a cup in your hand. Cup, that's good.
Tell me.
I don't like to mess with cups. I think you should do it. See, I don't like cups, so I don't like to touch them. No, you can do it.
At the end of the first treatment day, I knew it would not be necessary to use level 2, the full restraint procedure, or level 3, the electric shock procedure.
Oh, I forgot one thing. What did we forget? What's the one thing we forgot?
Forgot.
A hug, of course. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Bye-bye, Harry. I'll see you around.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I could not arrange to work with Harry until 2 weeks later. We began the second program day with a very brief return to baseline to determine if Harry's self-abuse would be high when there were no consequences. If it was, we would have demonstrated that earning the restraints and the timeout consequence had produced the experimental or treatment effect rather than some other extraneous or unaccounted for variables. Harry's high rate of self-abuse during baseline confirmed that the treatment consequences were responsible for his lack of self-abuse during treatment. After the return to baseline, we were ready to resume the treatment sessions. In addition to requiring Harry to spend increasingly longer periods of time out of restraints, we wanted to fade out those 2 feet long heavy metal institutional restraints and to replace them with a soft elbow pad such as that worn by skateboarders. When Harry was given these new restraints, which he had never seen before, he was told that his old restraints had been thrown away and that he would never be able to have them again. He would simply have to accept these new restraints. What we had hoped to do was to fade these soft restraints by cutting them each day so that they got smaller and smaller till eventually they would resemble a sleeve garter. At that point, we would attempt to eliminate all forms of restraint. Harry didn't like the new soft restraints. Being very adaptable, he figured out a way to defeat the program by once again placing his arms in his pants as a form of self-restraint. Our program was at the crossroads. This self-restraint presented us with a major problem because he was either self-abusing and or refusing to take his arms out of his pants. To solve this problem, we put Harry in a jumpsuit that had the pockets sewn shut. After testing the pockets, Harry began unzipping the front of the jumpsuit and self-restraining. To stop that, we had Harry wear the jumpsuit backwards, and we pinned the zipper so that he could not remove it. He didn't like the jumpsuit and would self-abuse while wearing it. He continued to try to find a way to self-restrain in the jumpsuit, but of course his efforts were frustrated. After several hours, Harry finally accepted the jumpsuit and the new soft restraints. At that point, we told him that he had earned his way out of the small treatment room. After a walk up to the administration building to shake hands with the superintendent, we took him to McDonald's for lunch and followed that with a trip to the 7-Eleven store.
All right. Harry, what's in the icebox that you got at the 7-Eleven?
Oh, good musketeer.
Right, throw the ball here. Throw it here. Good catch, Harry.
Okay, good.
Hey, Harry.
I don't want you to throw it.
Well, we're really cooking now. The second 8-hour treatment day ended with a rousing success. Harry had spent 2 hours and 17 minutes out in the community and free of restraints and without self-abusing. Unfortunately, shortly thereafter, Harry developed a serious foot infection and was hospitalized for approximately 6 weeks. Upon his discharge from the hospital, he began holding objects in his hands since he refused to wear the soft restraints. He was not self-abusing, but this new form of self-restraint was unacceptable since he refused to let go of the objects or to participate in activities. Once again, we were in a quandary concerning what to do. The answer came when he returned from an outing that he had earned with his parents for not self-abusing. During that outing, Harry's parents had taken him to a restaurant where he began self-restraining by holding drinking glasses full of water in each hand. He really seemed to like the glasses and requested them when he returned to the institution. Following the basic rule of taking what the client gives you, we decided to eliminate the use of the soft arm restraints and to fade those glasses. To fade the glasses, we decided to begin systematically substituting smaller and smaller glasses until we reached a point where we were using small plastic juice glasses. We planned to cut them in half and to keep cutting them until they got smaller and smaller till all Harry had to hold were the rims of the glasses.
Take a sip out of your glasses, Harry. Okay, Harry, you want to take a sip out of those? Take a sip out of your glasses? Here you go, here. Just hold on to these, okay? Those are juice glasses cut in half, Harry. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Yes.
You do? You want to hold on to those from now on?
No. Big ones.
Oh, you don't need big ones. We have the other one.
Okay, there you go.
How's the water taste, okay?
Yeah, too small.
But not that small. Got plenty of water in those things. Do you like those?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are what you're gonna have from now on, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. They still have water in them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a lot easier to carry, okay?
Yeah.
Once Harry was holding the rims, we eliminated them and taught him to self-restrain when he felt agitated by interlocking his fingers in an appropriate fashion. Also, we gave him a wristwatch to wear as an appropriate form of arm restraint.
Where's Dr. Foxx?
There's a major question that must be asked regarding any successful treatment program. Is the treatment effect maintained after the program is turned over to the staff and parents? In Harry's case, the answer was very gratifying.
1 plus 1 equals 2.
All right. Very good, Harry.
Maintaining Harry's behavior change for the past 2 years has been an ongoing process. Being bright and adaptable, Harry continues to display non-compliant behavior on occasion to test his family and the institutional staff.
How do you ask for pretzels, Harry?
Have you got some pretzels, Jim?
Okay.
As a result, they have had to remain very consistent and contingent with Harry, and to continue to try to provide him with challenging, stimulating activities and tasks. Because of their efforts, Harry has continued to make progress, whereas my own involvement with him has been reduced to that of an occasional advisor. As for Harry, the past 2 years have taught him that there are exciting alternatives to self-abuse and the wearing of bizarre restraints. He is becoming more independent and appropriate, as evidenced by his growing of a beard and choosing eyeglasses as his preferred form of restraint. Once Harry accepted appropriate forms of restraint, he was ready to begin participating in a variety of normal, highly reinforcing activities, such as working at the institution's vocational center. To maintain Harry's interest in these activities, he is paid tokens after he completes them. He then uses the tokens to purchase such things as visits home, TV time, and treats. Through this token program, we hope to accomplish our ultimate goal of having Harry live in the community. There is no mystery concerning why treatment programs such as Harry's succeed. Meaningful and long-lasting behavioral change occurs when a professional works directly with the staff and client during the initial program stages. When family, staff, and administrative cooperation is maximal. When everyone cares and commits to the program. And when the program remains flexible by evolving with the client's progress.